What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today I'm sore. For those of you who've been watching my channel for quite some time, you'll know that a few years ago, I was really taking care of myself, eating well, going to the gym, all that good stuff. Then the mental health went down the toilet, and with the mental health went the rest of my health. But I've just started getting back into it now. So I'm in that adjustment period again, where no matter how much warm up, no matter how much stretching, no matter how much prep, you start lifting weights again, and your body just has to get used to it. Has to go through that. Oh, you have muscles. All of them are now going to be stiff and sore. So my whole body is now very stiff. Not like sore, it doesn't hurt or anything, but it's yeah, I feel every muscle in my body. But that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I'm trying to be better once more. But in the same vein of trying new things, challenging yourself, doing something that you've never done before and is kind of scary, is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. To some, this may not seem super scary or super weird or be like, what? I have done first impression style videos before for you guys, where I've used a pen and I talk about it, but it's not like a super in-depth review. I haven't tested it with 10 plus inks, that kind of stuff. But even when I do a first impression video, I have used that pen with a couple different inks typically, and I've been using it for at least a week. Because to me, using it for about a week is a first impression. You really have to break in a pen to get to know it. But never have I done this, which is take a pen like the Magna Carta M600, which is just a stunner of a pen. I have not touched this pen beyond taking it out of the box. So I'm literally going to give you my very, very first impression. We're going to ink this up together. We're going to use it together. It might not work because it's a flex pen with an ebonite feed, so I may need to heat set it. The ink choice may not work. There's so many things that could go wrong. Aiden Benal, I think is his last name. He's reviewed this pen. I've watched his review. He said that ink does matter with this pen a little bit. He's had some that has worked well, some that hasn't. So to do a true first impression with you is really scary, because I like to come from a place of knowledge when I talk to you guys about pens and my experience. This is not that. I have no clue what this is going to be, but we're going to find out, and we're going to find out together. So let's do it. Okay, so I have 3 ink contenders, and I'm going to walk you through what I'm thinking with these. I want them all to be a kind of brown, warm tone. I thought about going maybe cool with the gray, but let's be real. I'm always going to pick a brown. Because this pen is just simply stunning. I mean, like I said, this is not a full review, but just look at it. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I was not expecting there to be so much chatoyance, and there is. It is gorgeous. And I can't stop saying the word gorgeous because it just is. And I'm also doing something that I don't normally do, and that is I'm going to ink it up before I even flush it out, to make it literally the first time I've ever used it. So if this doesn't work and this ends up being, not able to write, then there will definitely be a follow-up video about how I fixed it. And if it works right away, well then awesome, great. That's ideally what we would want. So for this pen, that was sort of, I don't super match my ink to the pen, but I kind of do. So I was thinking, like I said, either brown, like a warm brown, or a cool gray. but I decided to go brown. So I have a couple options. First is from Noodler's ink. So you can see like the Noodler's ink on this side, and it is Kiowa Pecan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is, of course, the new name after the whole rebrand, but that's option number one. This one is definitely more orange leaning. Option number two is an exclusive from Wonder Pens in Toronto from Dominant Ink. It is Ginger Chicken. This is very close, slightly warmer to Mont Blanc James Purdy & Sons Single Malt, which is one of my favorite all-time inks. This is really, really close to that, and I like it a lot. And then the final one is Diamine Ancient Copper, which it is my favorite ink out of the three, although to be fair, this one is very, very close. The only thing with this one is that in some pens, not all, in some pens this does tend to get a little bit, crispy towards the nib, and I don't see any like extra seal cap. Like there is like the standard one, but I don't see anything like crazy with it. Like on like shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is dead just with my body as well. The Platinum 3776, like with that kind of stuff. So we may have an issue. We also would have an issue with filling this. I would have to fill it directly from the converter and not out of the bottle because the bottle's thing is too narrow. So my worry with the Noodlers is it may be a little too wet potentially, and it may not have the flow. So Ginger Chicken is kind of a happy medium in between. I'm just deciding whether or not I feel risky enough to go with Ancient Copper, knowing that I may or may not have a flow issue or a crispiness barnacle issue. You know what? Risk it for the biscuit. Let's do it. Let's just do it. So this unfortunately does have a very narrow opening, and it is so narrow in that I don't know if I'll be able to I won't be able to get it all the way down because the ink level is lower and the feed, like the nib is large, so I would have to put it here, and I don't think I'd be able to get that. And I might be able to squeak it out, but it would honestly be such a mess. So I'm going to fill it directly from here. I don't like doing that because A, it gets this messy, and that's just a thing that I don't like to do. And B, because then you have to wait for the capillary action in order for it to go down the pen. Because now that feed is not saturated. So it is an extra step, and you do kind of have to wait a little bit and practice some patience. You can prime the feed. Why did that not fill? I didn't go down far enough, obviously. You can prime the feed, which I will probably do for the sake of this video, and then wipe it off so that it's not like totally saturated, like oversaturated. But in my experience with flex pens, you will know right away. Like you'll get ink starvation pretty quickly after you've primed a feed, if it's not like flowing correctly. But this is what I mean. It's just a little finicky. And then sometimes I also will dip it directly out of here, just so that way when I put it into the actual part of the pen, the feed, that's the word I'm looking for. I tell you guys, my brain is like cooked. I slept for 9 hours last night, which is something I don't normally do. I don't have full-blown insomnia by any means, but sleep is a passing lover. All right, so let's hope this doesn't overflow. It didn't seem to. Okay. As usual, I'm going to pull out the Galen leather notebook here. And let's go to a clean page. And let's push some ink down that feed, shall we? So you can see, obviously there's a huge clump of ink that just came out of there, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to go down the back of the feed. Oh, it's getting sucked in. Okay. It's a good sign. Let's do it a little bit more. Oh yeah, I can see it here now. So then sometimes what I'll do, like when I force ink down there, is I'll actually just give it a little shake. And then once a drop comes out, I'll leave it be, put the body of the pen on, and then usually I'll just give it a swirl in that, and that helps to like fulfill the rest of the capillary action. You guys, oh my goodness, I have never felt a nib so soft before in my whole life. I am not a vintage person, so I don't know if this is normal in vintage pens. So then I'm just going to give it a little blot because I know I've oversaturated it. Although, to be fair, I don't think that I really did, because normally a lot would be coming off and it's not. So I think that's just the way that it writes, which, look at that. Holy smokes. Okay, no pressure, nothing writes. Although I did, like I said, just blot it completely off. So you can see the tines are slightly apart and there is no ink in those. So I think I did actually blot it a little too much. Oops. Well, that works, I guess. I think I shook it a little too hard. Sometimes when you do this, like when you allow it to write in there, it kind of gets that capillary action started. And then I just have fun doing like a million different squiggles out of there, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna try to write hello. Oh man, I'm gonna have to practice with this pen. Holy moly. Hello Jello is a very Aziza from Gourmet Pens thing to write. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice with this pen quite a bit. Not only because I'm not very good at flex writing, but this is so soft. Wow. Like I have to put very little pressure on this pen. Very little pressure. And it just comes out like wow. When I do the actual review, I'm gonna put a drier ink in to see if that matters. Like I might put in like J.Herbin Lidete, which is like the driest ink that I have. If any of my inks, sparkling inks aside, are gonna cause problems, that one will do it, because this is almost too wet, which is just bananas. Like, but it is so soft and it is so smooth. Like, that's nuts. Not that I would ever do it with this pen, but let's just try it anyways. Oh yeah, no problem. No issues. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Like I have used flex pens in the past, like all of the Noodler's pens, basically. I've used a Leonardo one, I've used semi-flex, full flex, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I know with Magna Carta, and some of you may have already put in the comments, I know with Magna Carta, they tried really, really hard, and they're calling it a true flex. They tried really hard to emulate vintage flex, which, like I say, I have no experience with. But I will say, any of the flex pens that I've ever used cannot achieve that line variation without having a crazy amount of pressure. I have had some that can do it, can get there, but you have to put a lot of pressure down. And I don't know how to tell you guys how soft this is. Like, you need no pressure, and that snapback is awesome. Okay, so first impressions, awesome. I'm glad that it wrote, because if it didn't, this would be an even more boring video. The wetness is a joke. Like, this isn't even like, you'd have to leave this page forever in order for it to dry. Wow. I don't even know where to cut this video. I'm just going to keep saying wow. I will say, definitely follow me on Instagram and Patreon especially. Link in the description below. I'm going to be posting updates as I get more and more familiar with this pen, because I think this is going to be one of my most special pens. Goodness gracious. Not only is it gorgeous for the eyes, but it is gorgeous for the senses of writing. So definitely check out the description down below if you want to do that. Let me know in the description or in the comment section down below. Have you ever used a vintage flex? And have you used like a Meg 600? Like, let me know your experiences, guys, because I'm at a loss for words. This is unlike anything I've used. And after a decade plus of fountain pens, this is such a wild experience for me. It's very rare that I ever try something that seems new, and this is new. So hit the subscribe, new videos every Monday and Friday. Hit the like. Also in the comments down below, let me know if you like this style of video. Excuse me, my voice just cracked. Where it is literally a first impression video. I'm nervous about posting this because I don't know squat about this, but gosh, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna need a few more hours to just marvel. Again, thank you so much for watching, and guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.